Hey there, folks. Erica Jeffries here, Program Facilitator at ServiceTitan, and welcome to the newest TAD tune-up video. This time we're going to be covering the feature that is track profitability with job costing. Before we hop into it too quickly, let's talk a little bit about what TAD is, just as a reminder. To get to TitanAdvisor, or TAD, you would click on the rocket ship icon in the top right hand of your ServiceTitan screen, and it's going to bring you to an overview dashboard. What is TitanAdvisor? What does it go through? Essentially, it's like a business partner in features in ServiceTitan. It's going to go through different setup pieces for these features. It's also going to show you your utilization of them once they're set up. TitanAdvisor then attributes points to the utilization of these features, right? It takes out a lot of the guesswork from, what feature should I set up next? You can kind of scroll through the features and decide what's going to be useful for you and your business. And it also helps you, like I said, know those setup steps and then see what your utilization is following that. Today, we are going into TitanAdvisor and we are going to go through the track profitability with job costing. So bear with me as I share my screen. Awesome. So I did pull the track profitability with job costing into my current plan, which you do by clicking customize plan, and then you can search for available features. However, if you don't want to do it that way, you can also find this feature by going into the accounting business section, clicking on the optimization tab, and then you're going to see the track profitability with job costing right there. So our feature pulls up here. It gives us a really nice description of what the value out of this feature is, why we want this feature and want to get it set up and then be using it. Essentially, the base level of this is that if we have good data in, we have good data out, and we can make really good and effective business decisions based on this information. So you are able to track your profitability with job costing. And once we have these setup pieces done, then we're not spending a ton of manual time trying to tease out this information. It's available to us. TitanAdvisor says that the affected KPIs, once we get this set up, is going to be our profitability and our gross margin percentage. We also have this really nice GIF or GIF, however you want to call it, in here where it's showing some of the information that we would be able to access to make those really good data-driven decisions with. So there are 4 setup pieces for this feature. If for whatever reason you scroll down and you're not able to see what to set up, it could just be that this menu is collapsed. So if you just pop that open, it's going to show you the setup pieces. For this, like I said, 4 setup pieces. The first one is display payroll costs in job costing. The success criteria on getting this feature set up is that your account is configured to display payroll costs in job costing. However, what you're going to see is this configured word. Anytime in TitanAdvisor that we see configured or enabled, that typically means that it is a CSM configuration on their side. So you would just reach out to your CSM to ask to have that turned on. It's also a really good opportunity to talk about the benefits of this, how it's going to work for your business, potentially what gaps you're looking to fill with this feature. So first one is our display payroll costs in job costing. That is CSM configured. Our second one is enable payroll history persistence. The success criteria on this is the payroll history persistence feature is enabled. We see that enabled word, so we know that's not an us, that's going to be a CSM configuration. So these first 2, CSM configured. The last 2 are things that we're going to do. So the first setup piece is set technician burden rates. I'm going to show you folks how to do that in the settings, but essentially what we're looking to do is to go into each of our techs, go into their settings and update their burden rate. What is a burden rate? Burden rate is anything including taxes, benefits, fuel, insurance, that sort of thing. It is not what their actual payroll cost is, or what they make an hour. It's all of the costs except for that payroll cost. So that is our burden rate. The success criteria in having this set up is at least 25% of our active technicians have a burden rate. Okay. Then we have set material and equipment costs. We're going to pop into our price book. And what we want to set are the costs on these things. The success criteria is 75% of our material and equipment items in the price book have costs. Just a friendly reminder that cost is the price for us as a business to buy something. That is our cost. And the price is what we charge our customers. So when we are setting up these items in the price book or editing these items in the price book, you're able to go through, add your costs. So those are our 4 setup pieces. You will also notice in here this says 2 points, and this does as well. You will get 2 points just for in each of these things, just for setting this up. So a 4-point total. These are what I call set and forget points, because once you have them, you do the setup, they're not going anywhere. That is your setup points, and those kind of stay. It's your utilization points that can be a little bit more volatile, and you'll see go up and down with some peaks and valleys depending on your utilization. Once we get pop into the settings and do these last 2, so our tech burden rate and our material and equipment costs, then we'll go over our utilization points or our how to use points. So let's pop into our technician burden rates. I'm just going to go into my other tab here. I already have my tech list open. How you would get here is you go to the gear icon in the top right hand of your screen, and then you're going to search for techs, technicians. It's going to come up under people in your settings menu here. I am going to go into the same tech that I always go into, which is the first one. And when I'm in their profile, I'm going to scroll down and see our burden rate. So this individual already has their burden rate set at $40. Again, reminder, and if you do your hover to discover, it will pull up this description as well. So this is the hourly cost to maintain a tech, including tax, benefits, insurance, and overhead costs. Add in the tech hourly rate unless your account is configured to separate labor costs and job costing reports. So we don't want to be duplicating these things. So their actual tech hourly rate is separate. Awesome. So once we go through our tech list, and I can go into this next one to show you folks, we want to make sure that, as we said, at least 25% of our techs have a burden rate added onto their profiles. To get the setup points for this feature, you do only need 25%, but obviously the more granular you can be with it, the better. So that is our first setup piece that we do. The other 2 were ones that our CSM are going to configure for us. Then we have our set material and equipment costs. So like I said, this is asking for 75% of material and equipment items in your price book to include costs. I am going to hop into my price book, duplicate my tab, and go into price book here. So once we're in price book, we know that the success criteria on this setup piece is our materials and equipment. So not services, but materials and equipment. Just as an example, I'm going to go into this first material, this test material that I have in this account. I'll click this 3 kebab menu and go edit. As I scroll down, you're going to see we have a price. So again, the price is what we charge the customer. But at the bottom, we have cost. So that is the cost to us. Just as a little FYI, you're also able to click this button, show and hide inactive vendors, and it's going to pull up a list of if you did have other vendors for this piece of material in the past, but only the ones that are active, you can edit the cost on. So in this case, this material already has a cost associated with it, which is great. You're probably wondering, how am I going to go through all of my pieces of equipment and materials to ensure that it has a cost? My recommendation would be to click on this filters button and actually have your cost at a minimum of $0 to a maximum of $0 and hit apply. You're going to see that my list went from about 10 plus pages to now in my materials, I only have 33 that would need updating. Excellent. So now we know how to find our materials or equipment that have a $0 cost associated with them. We want to update those and make sure that 75% of our materials and equipment in our price book do have a cost associated with them. Right on. So that is our other setup piece. So now that we have All 4 of these setup pieces done, 2 by the CSM, 2 by us, we're able to look at our how to use or utilization points for this feature. So there are 2 different utilization metrics for track profitability with job costing. The first is include costs on invoices. And what it is measuring is the percentage of job invoices over $250 in the past 30 days with POs, materials with cost, or equipment items with cost. If it's over 50% of job invoices over $250, you're going to be getting 1 point. And if it's over 74%, you're going to be getting 3 points. You're going to notice that I have 0%, or you might be looking at your screen and thinking, hey, it says that I have, whatever percentage, but I'm not getting points for that. If your setup is not completed, you are not able to earn points. So just a little heads up on that. So how do we include costs on our invoices? What we're going to do is I'll pop into an invoice and show you folks what that would look like. So I am in an invoice, and as I scroll down here, you see on my chargeable materials, I have that test price book item that I was looking at before that has a unit cost associated with it and a price. And then I also have a purchase order that I had added onto this invoice and a piece of equipment, same thing. This is what it is looking at. This is over $250. So this would contribute to that utilization metric in this account. Next is running job costing reports. So what this utilization metric is looking at, and in order to get the 2 points, it is looking for the percentage of weeks reports based on the project costing or jobs template that include the costing related KPIs that were run or scheduled in the last 30 days. So if it's over 40%, you get 2 points. Let me pop into our reports here and we can look at kind of the different ways that we can use this. If we want to be creating our own custom reports, you're absolutely able to do that. You can click on the create report. So we're going to click into the report type that is job costing and payroll. The templates inside of this that we would want to be using are either the jobs report template or the project job costing report template. And this is going to have that data related to our job costing. Keep in mind, we are able to now join templates inside of reports, which is a really cool feature as well. So for this utilization metric specifically, we are looking for reports that are run or scheduled that come from either this jobs template or this project job costing template. Alternatively, so you don't want to create a custom report for this, there are reports inside of your account that will pull in this information as well. So I'm going to search for the project costing summary report, which is this one at the bottom here. You might be wondering, okay, well, how would I even know if that's pulling off the correct template? This goes for any report. You are able to click into a report, and then where it has this question mark icon, you can click on that, and it's going to tell you what template it's pulling from, the category, and the data source. So we know for this project costing summary report that it is pulling from a template that would ladder up into this metric and does have a lot of useful information in it. I am able to run this report. Let me change my dates here. And then just a little reminder that you are able to edit what is being pulled in depending on what information you're looking to get. You can also reorder these columns just like you can in any report. Another thing to mention is scheduling reports. So of course we can run those reports manually, but alternatively, if we want to have something sent to us on a regular cadence, we are able to do that. We can do that by hitting that little calendar icon that I clicked a couple seconds ago, and then we can go through and we can set up a cadence for the scheduled report to be sending to us. So that would then fill this metric or this, success criteria, kind of what we're measuring, where those reports are based off the templates that are the project costing or jobs templates. We can either do that by creating our own reports, we can search through some reports, we can run them manually, or we can schedule them to be sending to us as well. Thank you for joining me for another episode of TAD Tune-Up, this time on tracking profitability with job costing. Hope to see you folks at the next one. Have an awesome day.